Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, what's my brethren in Boston, Massachusetts? What's up, guys? Speaking of Boston, there's a big fight planned to take place at the TD Garden in 16 days. I was very, very, very excited about this fight between two middleweights who I do like to enjoy watch fight. In the form of Demetrius Andrade, who I've talked about and raved about on this channel for years now, and Billy Joe Saunders, who I also have grown to like over the years. These two guys are two of the best technical boxers in the middleweight division. And I like the fact that Eddie Hearn is bringing fights back to places like Boston, which have great boxing traditions that haven't been getting fights over the last couple of years. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. The fight's in jeopardy. For those who don't know, the fight is in jeopardy because Billy Joe Saunders tested positive for a banned substance. And by banned substance, let's get specific here on True School Sports. Oxyl. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing this right. Oxyliofrin or whatever. So I can't even say it. Oxyofrin, whatever. Basically, it's a banned stimulant. It's a banned substance that and its effects are essentially it increases like your focus and all this crazy. I had it right here because a bunch of sprinters like Tyson Gaze tested positive for it. A couple of baseball prospects, pitching prospects, they've tested positive for it. So it's not like it's uncommon. It's not like it hasn't been used in sports before. It increases endurance levels. It increases focus. It's a fat burning supplement, and it is on the banned substance list by the World Anti-Doping Agency, otherwise known as WADA. So, and just let's be clear here because I don't want people to say I'm biased or anything. This is like what Billy Joe Saunders knowingly took is worse than what Canelo took. Which was the clenbuterol. Worse, was not as bad as the oxylfrin or however you say it. They're both. This is worse than that, from what I've gathered at least. So with that being said, Billy Joe Saunders is a cheat. There's no two ways. He's a cheat. He's a cheat. There's no two ways about it. But at the same time, like boxing, like one thing I'm learning to do with boxing is like I love the sport. I think it's great. I think it's done a lot of good in the world. As much as people want to say it's bad, it's done a lot of good in the world. It's taught a lot of people discipline. Boxing has saved a lot of people's lives and developed a lot of people's confidence. So it's done a lot more good than bad. But what professional boxing, I've learned to, there's certain things that I can't really get mad about, and I need to expect. I need to expect that a lot of these guys are cheating. I gotta expect that because, these are world-class boxers. They're always looking for that competitive edge. Is it right? No. But should it be expected? I think yes. And I think the more I can do this, the less mad and angry I'll get at these fighters because they're humans. This is their job. They're looking for an edge. They're trying to feed their families. There's a lot of pressure that goes with being a fighter that I don't know about. So, no condemnation. But it is wrong. We will say that it is wrong. With that being said, I'll say this, man. I still want to see the fight. I still want to see the fight because I massively rate both these guys. I like watching them both fight. Andrade has not had a true test at middleweight yet because he hasn't been at middleweight that long. He's only fought Alontes Fox, and this will be his first. This will be Demetrius Andrade's first fight with Eddie Hearn. So I'm looking forward to see how it goes. And as for Saunders, he is a guy that many people look at as one of the best middleweights in the world. I think he's not gonna have his title anymore, but he still can go and continue making a marvelous resume for himself because if you do look at the guys he has beaten, right? Because funny enough, with Billy Joe Saunders, and I'm gonna be honest here. If you guys, for any of you who have been following his career, if you watched the Arthur Akavov fight, he looked terrible in that fight, absolutely trash. Go watch my video from that fight. He looked like trash. I crucified him for it in that video. He looked really fat in that fight, and I know he's had problems burning fat in the past. The what he took also does burn a lot of fat. So I'm not using that to justify anything. I'm just saying it's a possibility. But like, if you go look at his career, right? Look at the guys he's beat, and the names that he's been putting on his resume. Guys like, guys like Chris Eubank Jr., Andy Lee, Willie Monroe Jr., Dave Lemieux. In my opinion, and this might be an unpopular one, I think this would have been his biggest fight of his career. I think it is going to be the biggest fight of his career, and it's a chance to really continue to stake his claim in the middleweight division. And honestly, I think this fight is going to be great because both these guys, it's almost like these guys are fighting each other. They're both slick, technically sound southpaws, and it's just like who's gonna make who bend first. If you're a boxing purist, this is a fight you'd want to see. If you're not a boxing purist and you just want to see people get their brains bashed in, then don't watch this fight. But if you're a boxing purist, watch this fight. So yeah, that is my opinion. Like, boxing is very fragmented. I know this from being behind the scenes, seeing how it is. It's a fragmented sport in how it's ran. It's not ran like other sports. So you can't get pissed off guys test positive because there's no overall governing body to oversee these sanctioning bodies or fighters and say, hey, you can't do that. They just have their drug test that they do individually through the commissions and each of the different testing agencies. And unless it's VADA testing, all the other ones are kind of bogus because, if you look at the USADA testing in the past, USADA's never really caught anybody. They just use the random blood and urine. They never really caught anybody. They take money to do the testing, while VADA is a non-profit thing, and it's just like they catch people all the time. VADA, guys literally get suspended, and people actually. It's the most stringent drug testing we have available in boxing. So, and if it's not VADA testing, I don't want anything about drug testing in boxing. So that's that. But as far as this fight goes, I still do hope it goes on. Because look, Triple G and Canelo went on, and that really shouldn't have happened. It was a farce. Canelo's had many cases in the past where he's tested for some stuff. We've seen with the way he just magically goes like this between fights that we know he's on something. So it wasn't a surprise when he tested positive for clenbuterol, and then he said it was the meat. So this is bad. Billy Joe's a cheater. A lot of these guys are cheaters. It's the sinful nature of man. It's people in general. People are always looking for an edge, always looking to get ahead in life. So what we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, how many times have we heard of guys like in on the U.S. Olympic team? They had all these other people from the other countries. They tested positive, but then meanwhile Michael Johnson and all these sprinters were shooting needles up their asses, and they didn't say anything to them. So you just gotta assume at this top level of sports that these guys, in some way, shape, or form, these guys are taking some sort of performance enhancing drugs. But then you also got to still say, look, there's still some ability that these guys got to have to still perform at that level. Because, look, people can say Barry Bonds hit 73 home runs and he cheated. But, listen, I played baseball for more than half my life. You can't do half the crap Barry Bonds did on the baseball field unless you have elite-level skill. And you can – so it is what it is. There's still a measure of skill that's involved here. It don't matter whether Billy Joe took PEDs or not, because – these guys, neither one of these guys is going to be able to hit each other for like the first 6 rounds of the fight because both these guys are so defensively sound and slick. So it's going to happen. They're saying that the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission has to have hearings, but it's more than likely going to happen. When it does, I look forward to seeing how it plays out. And may the best man win. I'll have more coverage on that fight as it gets closer. But you guys give me your comments down below, man. The whole Canelo thing is kind of just desensitizing to the whole PED thing. Like, it's not really taken as serious as it should in boxing, and unfortunately, someone's going to have to die before boxing begins to take this issue seriously. So I've kind of I don't want to say I've let it go, but I look at it more realistically now. It is what it is. So, let me know what you guys in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from being here. So until next time, take care, guys.